We can start. So we're good. Good evening, everyone. Calling the August Planning Board meeting to order. I see we have Kate Osowski and Dick Hermans on remote, and we have 4 of us here in person. We are still operating in a hybrid fashion in accordance with the legislation, mixed with the governor's continued declaration of a state of emergency that so right now is through the 13th. Okay, first thing up this evening is Mr. David Birch's application for a lot line adjustment on Bean River Road. It's a public hearing. And we have Warren here. I just want to remind everyone that as we look at this application, Mr. Birch had presented to the board how many parcels? 6 parcel major subdivision. But he's not ready to go ahead with that at the moment. Someone is ready to buy one of the parcels, so he's looking to do a lot line adjustment on one parcel, but we have to take into account that larger plan that's out there. I forget what. Do we have to, can we just enter a public hearing, or do we have to vote to enter a public hearing, Warren? I always forget this.
Just got into it, don't we?
I think so.
All right, so we're gonna.
I'm sorry,
start the-
can you repeat the question?
You don't have to vote to enter a public hearing, correct? We can just, I can just sit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start the public hearing if we could have the map up on to share. And if Mr. Birch can give just a rundown of currently what he's looking to do. And then we'll switch the map to the larger thing. You can describe that. That's the,
You have the other map.
yeah, she had it.
We're just doing the lot line adjustment.
Understood. Just because you can't, it's hidden behind that. What you can do is restore the tab on the right. No, all the way on the right. No, on the tab that has, see, there's like the square on the right. More on the right. Keep going. Yeah, no, not that. That. Like that. There you go. Now drag it. Now you can pull it down. There we go. Now we can hit it. Now maximize. Sorry. You're fine.
Yes.
I think you were.
Great job. So you can see there are 2 parcels there. As you see the line that goes kind of diagonally is the original lot line, which makes the parcel with the house on it kind of very wide. This is a lot line adjustment just to rationalize that lot to make it rectangular. See parcel 1, 3.762 is the new lot line between the parcel 1 and the remaining lands. That's what we're trying to do tonight, is we have somebody who's interested in purchasing that parcel with the house. There's quite a bit of work that needs to be done on it, but they're aware of it and they're eager to get started on it.
And the driveway. Just
Oh, the-
on-
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Kate. Yes.
The original line was like halved that? Is that what I'm looking at?
It's the one that goes across. You pointed out with the pointer maybe.
So the original line. I'm not doing this right here. Whoops, is.
That one?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, there.
Yeah,
There we go.
okay.
Is there, that diagonal one, and so I take it, the new parcel would be, is just the parcel that's to the right
The
currently.
rectangle,
The new parcel is a rectangle, but what we're doing is we're just moving the lot line.
correct.
I don't know if anyone can see me. It's pivoting upon that point and,
Right.
yeah.
So that whole line is coming out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that whole diagonal,
Okay.
that makes,
And that will be two parcels, and parcel two is going to be subdivided into 5 lots.
okay, so then, yes, if we can,
Do we have that?
yeah, let's pull up the other map now. So get to that. Yeah. Right, so we'll just go over it, no, not minimize it, restore that. Yeah, there you go. Now maximize. No.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, go ahead, Mr. Bird, you want to talk about,
Yeah, so the plan is that once this lot line adjustment is done, that the remaining parcel, which is I think 20 acres, 20.3 acres, will be subdivided into 5 parcels. And there are 2 existing houses, well, there'll be 1 additional existing house. On parcel 4. Somebody is actually living in that house now.
and obviously the shaded part is the part we're talking about tonight.
Correct.
And what was, and now you've heard from the county regarding the curb cuts for all those other ones, and what happened?
Curb cut's not an issue, yeah. The issue is the septic systems and you know, Dutchess County has a system where you have to have 2 septic fields. And that,
You're talking about the 100% expansion capacity?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So that's the problem, and there's some slanting, and that has to be worked out.
Okay, as far as the parcel, the shaded parcel that we're talking about this evening, the lot line adjustment,
That has its own.
that has a
septic well.
septic already. Yeah.
Well, and they're both good.
And now, we got the EAF for this, right?
Form,
Yes.
yeah, that's been filled out.
All right, do you have anything further you want to say? Okay. So, next up, is there any member of the public that's here that wants to, ask what, or talk? Go ahead, say your name.
So we're an adjacent landowner
Okay,
and we're farmers, and this does fall in the ag district, correct? On the application, it says it doesn't, but that's not true, so we should expect an agricultural data statement for this application, which we have not seen yet. If you do this lot line adjustment, you're facilitating subdivision, which is going to increase traffic on Bean River Road. And as a farmer, we drive this all the time. And that intersection of Bean River 199, which is where the majority of traffic will be coming in and out, is horrible. So the site distance, you can't see it all when you got 10 feet of tractor in front of you. So making that turn with a hay wagon on the back is very difficult. If you facilitate this by lot line adjustment, you're going to increase the traffic on the road, and you're going to endanger all the farmers that are traveling because there's going to be more congestion. It's a risk right now just driving on that road, that intersection. So that all needs to be evaluated further. I don't see any reason to go forward with this. There's a reason why the lots were subdivided like this or cut up like this. And, you know, we can't compromise the safety of the farmers in the community.
and your name was, sir?
Matthew
Last name?
Cicchetti, CI. we own all the property right behind the subdivision. And there in fact is 5 parcels within the ag district, within 500 feet that they did not identify in the application. And they're all active farms. And we travel this road very frequently. We got a couple hundred acres to farm right here. So, you know, there's no need for this. The infrastructure can't handle it, and it needs to be evaluated further.
So that's a county road, right? Not a town road?
Correct.
So that would have to go to this county. And have they not approved the driveways on this?
It's an existing driveway. Well, the lot line adjustment that we're doing is just to facilitate the further subdivision later on, but that house is there already. It's approved, there's a driveway cut.
I understand. Again, we have to look at both pieces. as we-
Right, so-
I don't understand the issue. even.
But it's, let's not have, okay, we're not gonna get into cross discussions. We're gonna have Mr. Birch. So just getting back to the driveway situation, you had the county approve the other driveways that would be added or not yet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, okay. But there's,
But it was a preliminary approval, yeah, for the driveway down below.
for one of them, but not all.
For the 3 parcels down below. That was approved by the county. But the one up top, we weren't sure about exactly how those lots were going to be subdivided, so
Okay.
that has not been.
So the
formally
3
approved
up
yet.
top.
Yeah.
So the 3 up top, not yet, but
Well, the one is.
one
existing
existing,
driveway.
2 additional, you have not been approved. The 3 on the bottom, they did approve or something?
Right.
And,
I mean, I would like to point out that this subdivision involves 3-acre lots. That zoning in that area is for 1/2 acre lots.
yes. Okay,
I mean, that could involve considerable traffic, in that 1/2 acre lots. 3-acre lots, you're only talking about
okay,
4 additional
yes, we're,
lots.
all
4
right,
additional
I
houses.
want to move on to see if there's anyone else, is there anyone online here for? No public.
And we did have that letter from Mrs. Zier in Stanford.
Oh, right,
She owns a 2-acre parcel across the street next to where Mr. Funk used to live, so.
right, and she was just worried about it, this affected her land, and we can assure her that it does not affect any of her land.
Across the street.
As far as, yeah, she would not lose any of her land. She was concerned that she would lose some of her land, so no, that would not come off her. What's this now? Okay. Mr. Russell Saunders, I was just returning from vacation and seeing a notice from the town about today's meeting, in which a major subdivision near my property on Bean River Road will be considered. I wish I had been home to receive the notice earlier. It's like, no. So he basically feels the major subdivision would be out of step with the surrounding rural. I wish, let me finish reading. I just want to make sure it makes sense for me to read it out loud. I wish I had been home to receive this notice earlier so that I could have written a letter recommending this proposal be declined as it is out of step with the surrounding rural setting. Could you please let me know what happened with the board? All right. George, do you have any comments on anything that's been said or about the problem?
I mean, my understanding of what was going to take place was that the board was going to entertain the lot line adjustment as basically phase 1 of this application. And that we're looking at the seeker for the full application, phase 2 being the remainder of those lots. But that it would not technically be approved for filing.
Correct.
They would have to get county approvals for septics, for driveways. There'd be full technical review by the board once that's done as far as stormwater impact, et cetera. But that we would look at the whole action under seeker tonight. So the only thing that would happen tonight potentially would be a lot line adjustment, 2 lots on Bean River Road today, 2 lots later, right? With that adjustment, we're just changing the line, not creating any new lots tonight. And then if and when they got the remainder of the technical requirements for these other lots, they would have to come back for technical review prior than any of those being approved or filed with the county. For that, understanding, unless this isn't an ag district, which I did not look into. If it is, then they do need to submit an ag dat statement that would hold up secret, I believe, wouldn't it, Warren?
He may not be able to hear.
No, I think you're unmuted, Warren. I think we could hear you.
Oh, I'm having trouble hearing. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to repeat. I can't hear when the audience talks. So if you could just repeat what the comment in question was to me,
Move up to the microphone.
Yeah.
or speak into the microphone.
All right, Warren. So what I was saying was, is if this is in an ag data or an ag district, which I did not look into, but if it is, then it would require an ag data statement, and that, I believe, would hold up our secret proceedings if that has not happened.
So you're questioning whether it needs an agricultural data statement?
That's what's been brought up tonight by one of the adjoining landowners,
Oh,
which is a
I don't
farmer.
know. Drew, would Drew know the answer to that? I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know if that's required.
It's just a picture of Drew, he's there.
Oh, well, Drew is there.
Is Drew frozen?
I'm here, yeah, I don't know the ag district there either.
It's 21.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I know what district it is, but I don't know if this is actually in the district.
Have a copy of that map, right? You probably should. Does anyone have it?
Our
Anyone?
zoning map only specifies that this is the
That won't
Fulton's
have it.
Corners hamlet
Yeah.
and not the rural district, but that doesn't.
Drew, do you know where you can get a copy? Do you have a copy of that map on your computer, or do you know where that is?
Oh, actually, there's a copy of the map on the assessor's wall. That's where I always look for it. But I have looked online before.
Should be available.
Did the person who submitted the comment provide any documentation supporting the need for an agricultural data statement?
So on the Dutchess County parcel access, we own land behind it. We're in Ag 21 across the street.
Is the property in an ag district?
Yes. Yeah, we're in Ag District 21 and then behind it.
Probably does, then it would, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that has to be filled out and complied with before you approve. But I have another question. I'm not understanding the driveway access, and maybe I missed it when you were discussing it. This new lot at the top, after the lot line adjustment, is that going to have its own driveway, or is that going to access through the neighboring parcel?
An existing driveway.
It's an existing one, Warren, he said.
Can we zoom in on
Hey,
that?
can we go back to the
If we
switch
zoom-
maps?
Can we zoom in?
Or
we
zoom
can
in on
see
this
it.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, so where does show me where the driveway for this one parcel is?
Yeah, well, let's-
Is, I'm not
we're
sure I
gonna
understand.
We're gonna switch to that other map.
Come over there, I could drive you up the driveway. Up there many times.
Right. Right. So if you zoom in on that front corner. So I think Warren's question is, it appears that that gravel driveway comes over the proposed lot line.
Yeah.
Why?
That's my question, yeah.
There's plenty of.
And that's existing, right? So that's an existing driveway, Warren, that is gonna be bisected, I guess, by the new property line.
Yeah, but
And-
now when you creating two lots that are sharing the driveway, there has to be a shared driveway agreement.
Or, well, would you keep that same?
I'm not even sure if that's gonna be where the driveway is.
So if you were to, I don't know, how do you deactivate a driveway?
Well, yeah, you'd have to go through the county to change it. Someone would have to go to the county
Change.
highway department, get a permit for a new location. If you're gonna use it as is, you would just need an easement
Right, you just
Or
turn- I guess
agreement
So that sounds easier.
to,
So you need a
a
driveway.
lot easier because he owns both parcels, so you could grant an easement to parcel one. But
Yeah,
again,
you're
it would have,
you're creating two lots now that are sharing one driveway.
right,
But are they?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
That's the way it looks on the map.
But on the map, can you pull in on parcel one? Is that where you pull in or
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah.
You don't use where it says parcel
No,
two,
there's a
that
line-
little
there's a line
triangle?
apron over there that the surveyor indicated.
Mhm.
So that's really not part of the driveway, the line below.
well.
But it's
that-
there now.
But it's there. So in other words, if you sell parcel one, someone comes down that driveway and they want to head south on Bean River Road, they're gonna come through that front corner of parcel two.
Right.
So I'm saying is the simplest way to clean that up is to just reserve an easement.
I didn't think he was pulling in there. I thought he was pulling in on the other side.
Right, but I'm saying if you were, let's say you were already
Right,
there
I,
at
yeah,
home
but I,
and you were gonna head south. That's probably
Yeah.
why it's so wide. You would just drive right down and go straight. As opposed to coming out, pulling 90 to Bean River, making a right or a left.
so
I'm just,
that driveway must be how many feet
it's wide,
wide?
100 feet? Maybe more?
And not to complicate it, the original parcel with the house that's on it currently, the triangular parcel that includes the pond, is not in any agricultural district. The other lot is in agricultural district 21.
So the
So
lot on the
two?
west, the back lot,
Back the new addition.
Correct.
right?
So half the lot.
So
So
half
an ag
the
data
lot.
statement does need to be filled out. Because that lot is part of this application, it's being merged, and then the lot line adjustment between these parcels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Huh,
So where it says parcel 1, 3.782 acres, that chunk there
is in the ag
will
district.
be part of this house and it's part of agriculture district 21.
Right.
Where the house is
So an acre and a
currently,
half.
it is not.
Right, but again, that lot that's in the district is part of the application that's being reviewed.
Right, right. And then then the other lots are all in the districts, in the ag district?
Well,
according
as
to-
that diagonal line stands, because that's how the lots are divided right now.
no, but she's, you're
No.
talking about, can you go down? a sec? I just want to see how this plot looks. Keep going down, keep going, go down. Yeah, so all those other, that whole piece, so anything else you would add, all those other lots would be in the agricultural district.
Yes. Except that triangular portion where the pond is,
Yeah.
In the back.
No,
in the very
in
front,
the front.
Oh, in the front.
right next to Beaver Brook.
That's not agricultural
No,
land.
But it's in the district.
It doesn't matter though, it's in the district.
It's taken saying you're not going to use for agriculture.
It's an actual form called an ag data statement. It has to be filled out and sent out to adjoining farms. So they're aware of what's going on, so they can come in to, voice their opinion of how that may or may not impact their farming activities.
I don't see, do you think that's going to impact your farming at all?
Yeah, we travel this road all the time. I don't know if you guys ever pulled out of Bean River Road, but you can't even see with a car hardly, let alone a tractor. I gotta be halfway out in the road in order to see anything, and then I'm pulling something, so I'm pulling out slow.
So that sounds like a county problem, not, I mean,
Yeah,
a
but it-
road.
The site distance would be a county issue, but the
So-
ag data statement is definitely our, we're acting as lead agency, right? So we have to make sure we have all those
Right,
documents
so-
in place.
Are you coming from Prospect Hill Farm? No.
Yes,
Yes,
but we farm roads, farm.
right,
Bean
I
Road.
know, yeah, right,
So
I
we're
know
coming
that
on that all the
area.
time.
So,
So basically facilitating the lot line adjustment now.
So you
lead
have
to
quite a bit of
subdivision.
traffic already because Brook is up there, correct?
Yeah, we have Ronnie Brook near us,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
But that. The
But I mean,
traffic
these are-
problem is on this road, so adding, if you allow the subdivision, which is the future plan after the lot line adjustment, there's no need for lot line adjustment if it's not gonna go through. Is the additional traffic is going to create additional harm at the intersection. So there'll be, additional traffic flow that's gonna be dangerous to us
so it
pulling
sounds
out. We
like
don't
the
need any more.
county is gonna have to eventually.
But remember, this lot line adjustment would not create any new line. Right,
Yeah,
there's a
but
house
they need
there
this-
already.
They
He's
need
trying-
this to facilitate that lot, so there's no reason to do it if they're.
No, that's inaccurate. No, because he could still sell this lot. And then if we
With a
don't
pre-existing house.
approve the rest of the application, then that doesn't happen. Right, so right now there's a house there. He's looking to do a lot line adjustment to sell that house, but with, instead of that triangular piece that comes down, to sell that trapezoid in the back. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, attached
by
to that.
doing that, you're opening up the door for more road frontage for a subdivision.
How? Oh, you mean the lower part, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why.
Well, we're
you have
not
to do it.
approving a subdivision.
Right, but you're opening up the door for that. I mean, this is unnecessary.
Well, it
Well,
says if
it's
somebody
his
wants
land.
to buy that land.
Yeah,
I mean, someone
mean,
Why
wants,
not buy it the way it is?
I don't know, you'd have to ask them. It's like, why would
Yeah.
someone want to?
Why-
Okay, Mr. Birch.
You're concerned about traffic.
Mr. Birch, Mr. Birch.
No.
We don't, they took, we might, I'm in kind of loose having some dialogue going back and forth, but like, when we do the public hearings, it's basically just statements. Technically, we don't even have to engage,
Sorry.
but, so I just want to keep everything coming this way and not that way. All right.
So this lot line adjustment and the potential subdivision are two separate issues. Tonight, we are dealing with the lot line adjustment. The other will-
Not really,
No, but
because if you recall, we agreed that the environmental impacts of this subdivision would take into account the ultimate, what is it, 5, 6, or 7 lot subdivision. So that was one of the requirements of allowing Mr. Birch to proceed in this manner.
But also if he would have to keep in mind if we approved this, but then didn't approve the subdivision down the line, like maybe he wouldn't want to do this lot line adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, this is really
know what I
not a good, it's not a good way of proceeding.
Right, because he could end up with a big chunk of land that you can't get a driveway in.
It's proceeding in this manner
Now, I have
opens
a
up
house on that
a can of
property.
worms.
Why, you can't imagine that. You can't do
So,
subdivision.
all right, but if like what we're saying is if we approve this and you don't get, like, you
Right, I-
have to have that understanding that you would have to live with this one piece. And that, so that seems, he does seem amenable to that, and understanding of that that could be the case, Warren.
Yeah,
And-
could we just go back to the driveway? I'm still confused about can I see the map again?
So currently, that's what the driveway looks like, kind of like an upside down funnel.
Okay, so is that driveway going to be servicing the houses on 2 lots?
We're not sure. I think it's very possible that driveway would be next to the other driveway. It would be separate driveways. They're not a common driveway.
I mean, when you build on the second parcel, whatever that number is going to be,
It's a logical place.
where is
to
the
put
driveway for that second parcel going to be? Is that going to be the same driveway that's servicing parcel 1 on this lot?
No.
He said it could be, but he's not sure, Warren. It could be, he says it does seem to be a logical place to put a driveway.
But it would be a separate
Scroll up so
driveway.
we
It wouldn't
can
be
see
a combined
three
driveway. It would be separate
parcels.
on their property.
Right. But the
Right.
fact is,
So
it currently would end up being on 2 different part would be on two different properties.
There's no intention of doing a shared driveway. Intention is to have two separate driveways in proximity to each other.
You could get it off that corner, off of that around and have put a driveway at the other end of parcel 2
At the other end.
Well, this is,
with near parcel 3, maybe they could have a shared driveway.
right, I don't know. It's
Which-
more an issue,
Then
like
it's
George
not
said,
up
is
there.
that people coming out of parcel 1 now will end up using whatever driveway
Is there?
that's there now. You're gonna just
Right.
drive over it,
Mhm.
and so therefore there has to be an easement. I mean, that's the only issue, right? Just an access easement for parcel 1? Warren?
Yeah, there's gonna have to be some kind of
As part of the driveway.
shared driveway agreement between parcel. It's very confusing without the subdivision map. Can you go back to the other subdivision map?
It would be between parcel 1 and 2, right? Or,
Yes.
Right, as shown on this drawing.
and then, we wouldn't worry about the other part, like, we wouldn't worry about, any of the driveways for the rest of the subdivision until he's ready to proceed with that and we go through that application. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, it could change when you do the subdivision, but is George, this driveway has already been approved by the county?
This driveway exists, servicing the house that exists.
Right,
So the county would just grandfather that driveway for that same house,
but
But-
not for two houses.
but not for two houses, no. But lot 2 on this map, parcel 2, already has a house and a driveway on it, which is also existing down on the southern side of the property.
Could
So
we
there-
see that? Could you show that map?
If you
again?
scroll down to the bottom. So there's,
All the way, but that's not going to exist once he does this subdivision. That's going to be a different parcel.
correct. What I'm saying is, only thing potentially that would be approved would be this lot line adjustment, which would just, again, we'd have two houses, two lots. The only thing changing is the lot line configuration, so we'd still have two houses, two lots and two driveways on Bean River Road. They would definitely need an easement for the driveway as it's currently drawn on parcel 1 over parcel 2. But I think, large procedural issue is it does appear that it needs an ag data statement, and that hasn't been done. So
Right.
I think
we
procedurally,
can't-
you cannot move forward.
Right, so we're gonna have to keep the public hearing open and then get that data statement.
I believe so. Zach, I believe I'm correct, right, Warren?
I'm sorry, repeat that question?
So Warren, what George was saying is that we have to get the ag data statement because the back piece that we're looking to add to parcel 1, go back up to-
We're in the ag district.
right, is in the ag district. That
Yeah,
trapezoid.
that- If part of that parcel is in the ag district, you have to comply with that requirement.
Right.
Right, so we
That
need
has
to
to
keep the public hearing open.
Yeah, because
then-
he has to submit the ag data statement, whatever the form we have in Pine Plains for that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Does Drew have that?
Drew,
I do.
do you handle that?
I have an ag data statement form, yes.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
So let's defer that. It's got to be deferred to the next meeting. And I'm going to want to see either some sort of shared driveway or easement as a condition of approval, since we're now going to have two lots serviced by one driveway.
That's not until the subdivision is
no,
proposed.
but no, it's still, right now, that driveway is there. And it's, the people, if, like George was saying, if parcel 1, if you go to leave, you're gonna drive over that person's.
I don't think so.
You're heading south.
That's how it's drawn on the map.
I mean, unless you put a fence there, right? Like,
But
you know,
the driveway is now, it's all one parcel. I mean, it's
Correct.
one piece of property. Oh, I see, because you had that one parcel. Yeah, it's all one parcel.
It's just gonna cut off a triangle of that driveway. It's
Right.
gonna be on parcel 2, the bottom.
It's not a big deal. He just has to do that. I mean,
Put it
that's,
to yourself, so you're just.
Yeah.
Lines.
Okay. All right, so we have, so that's it, so you need to get that ag data formed. Warren, I'm sorry, Drew, Mr. Birch asked if you could email that to him, please.
I can do that tomorrow.
And there's nothing else as far as the single lot, right? There's existing septic, that's all, we don't have to worry about any of that.
Right.
and then we will have to go over the, do the environmental review for this, but we could do that at the next meeting.
Right, right, once we have all the information, we'd have to have that ag data set.
Right.
Right.
So if he were to change, I mean, it sounds like easement is the easiest way to do it, because if he changed the driveway, then it's technically a new driveway,
Gotta
and
go to
then they
county.
have to the county has to read. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so that's where we're at. The public hearing is held open till next month, September. It used to be here. September 14th at 7:30 PM.
Big CPL calendar, we're like 8 months in, right? Bring you one if you want.
What's the date?
14.
I just will bring it. We go through this every month.
I always think, what is it?
Okay. All right, so, and Lauren, I just, on this, you feel like we've explained, we're clear on the procedure as far as just approving this, the single lot line thing, I mean, that's, the way
Yeah,
we're proceeding is
we're
proper,
approving the
but-
single lot line adjustment, but taking into account all the environmental issues with the entire subdivision. That's what we had agreed to allow him to move forward in this matter.
But that
Okay.
didn't mean we are approving the subdivision. That's.
We're not
Correct.
approving the subdivision, no.
Right.
We're only taking the environmental impacts, ultimately of the entire subdivision into account for approval of the lot line adjustment. This is a little unusual.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so next up is the Heaven's Lane Bakery. If we can pull up file. And this is, George, did you get a chance to examine the, all right, so we asked, Reverend Sarah, wants to open up this bakery in the old Chinese restaurant, on Pilch Drive. And, we had, told, said it's a site plan review process. And she's provided now this aerial map, with, the septic drawn on it. Is there anything else drawn? Are those black dots in the picture? Is that something or no? Are those lights or is there anything else indicated on the map besides the septic?
This map, I think Pat Prendergast, the engineer, was
Okay.
trying to show us the septic. He also did submit the approved septic drawings
Okay.
from Dutchess County Health Department, which is where he got this information from. Did you guys get those?
I got a letter. I saw the letter from the county saying it's all good.
Right. Yeah,
You
I
know.
did print out, just in
Yeah.
case the board needed.
So yes, they did receive a approval on the septic from the county very speedily.
Right.
Oh, it's fine, yeah. If we need it, we'll ask. And the letter was submitted to us. Okay, so well, I don't know how to ask this question. So how does, well, first of all, let's open it up to the board members. And does the board members have questions about the map as it stands here as far as site plan approval?
I mean, I know the building, so I think we all know.
I just would like to know about signage. What's the intent behind signage? Because nothing was indicated by that I saw, but.
Put a little sign detail off to the side.
There's something on the right there.
Yeah.
We
I
can,
did not see that.
There is a street sign where,
do this one.
there's a street sign out. In the post office, there is they've always had a.
Use the gray bar. All the way
You
over.
gotta go all the way.
There you go. So
Oh,
that's the
that's it.
sign. Oh, no, you can't max it out. Because we're gonna lose it behind everyone else's stuff. But they should be able to see it. You guys are seeing it online, right?
Yeah,
You can see the sign and everything.
Right.
fine looking sign.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the sign. That's out by the road.
Right, that's gonna be here.
Oh, not by the road. Okay, so that's right.
Remember says new street.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be at the
Can I
entrance
just
to the
come in?
driveway, not the entrance to Phillips Drive.
Right,
So like when you would
Right
pull in to go to the car wash, or, when the doctor's office used to be there.
exactly.
So they're planning on replacing the sign at South Main Street and Pilch and moving it to in front of the entrance to the plaza.
Right, so will there be a sign out on Main Street anymore?
I know they're gonna put like a sign on, like, us with the other people, well, there's only one more tenant, other than me, like, so I think they're gonna put it on, I guess that structure there, and then there's gonna be one over the store.
Right, but
Okay,
it's,
right,
see how
right.
it's
So
indicating here?
they're gonna move it from out
Right, so-
front to.
Well,
The
let's make
sign
sure that
is
that's what
going
she's-
here.
Okay,
Right.
I
I
didn't
don't
even
think
know
she knows
that.
about the
Right.
one.
Right.
That's this.
As
sign.
opposed to right now, like the Chinese restaurant had a sign here, out here, here's Main Street. So is that, well, it's your thing, right? I mean, is that what you want? Is that where you
Yeah,
want?
well,
the-
yeah, wherever they, I think,
Yeah,
I,
it was
all I
like
know, they were gonna put it
what do you
on
call
like
those?
a sign where they had other people.
Yeah, it was movable.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
wasn't
Yes.
permanent.
to be
Right.
determined.
But
to be
there's-
Right on the
determined.
corner.
Probably 3 tenants
By
in
the
there is
whole-
what I'm
Yeah.
assuming. So what Pat's
Yeah,
saying
that
is
was
this would
his
go
sign.
here,
Okay.
not out on Main
But
Street.
now there's a more
Okay,
permanent sign.
that's probably, I don't know, he.
Would it
maybe
make
figured
more
that out.
sense if
This
we
would be
help
on
Main
the door.
There has been one there,
Yeah.
yes.
But I
And-
guess you would have to get approval from
It's like 10.
Dale or whoever,
Mhm.
right? Who owns that property?
Oh,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, yeah, that's right, it was on Mitchell's
So if they're gonna put it in the back.
Then it's
that's-
fine, sure.
I have no problem either way. I'd just like to know.
Right.
I think it should be denoted clearly.
The other things that we're looking for on this, is it the lighting?
I think I remember him talking a lot
Is that what
about
these
a
black dots
pole
are?
lamp. I remember him saying that he was gonna label lighting on.
Oh, yes, pole lamp.
So I would.
So I
assume
guess
each
these
one
are
of those
lamps and then
are
there's,
existing.
is there lights on the build? There must be existing, it's all existing, so.
Right.
And those are existing pole. lamps. And, I mean, did you get did he give you a count of how many spaces or anything?
Parking spaces.
How many parking spaces?
He didn't, well, as far, we talked about seating, but he didn't tell me anything about parking
According
spaces.
to his letter, I think it was a 30-seat now, and it'll be a 20-seat restaurant when it's
20
done, so I'm.
So whatever's
I believe
there.
His opinion was obviously,
Well.
we're reducing it down. So you could probably count it, right?
Hmm.
So 20 to 25 parking spaces right in front of the building.
And where's the refuse gonna be?
Oh, garbage, from the, I would imagine the back, right? I'm, whoever the.
Is there a
doctor
dumpster out
wanted
there
it.
now? Plaza wide use?
I didn't see anything I didn't see anything, but wherever, I guess the doctor wanted it to be. I don't really tell me anything.
lots.
Oh, see, you did
What
put
is this?
parking there.
This is the other drawings
No,
that
I didn't see
Oh,
were
this.
I-
submitted. These are,
This got submitted to us?
yep, this is what,
I didn't see this.
what Pat had
Did you guys
uncovered.
see, did any of you see
This
this?
is the health department approval for the septic system.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Right,
I
so it
didn't see
also
this.
shows some site plan kind of things on it
Yeah, I
from what
got
was
that from
originally
them.
approved. Right, so I mean, you can see, you know, that's the drive, this is the building, sidewalks, your lights. Wonder what this
So
was
what's-
intended to be.
And what is it? Yeah, what is it? What is this?
So I'm assuming the dumpster would be in the back.
Scotch pine.
Yeah.
Weren't they down on the side next to the doctor's office, down on that end?
Like over here. The garbage? I thought
Yeah.
the garbage. What is that? 1, 2?
2.
Is that
Oh.
dumpster? Is that what-
No, those are. just
So this was the
Ah,
doctor's office, right?
Yes.
Okay. Dry good retail store, liquor
and then
store, and
there's-
so that's Ken, and then that's,
Mhm.
this is the Chinese restaurant.
Right,
Yeah, so there's that parking, and there's actually even more over here, but he doesn't have that drawn in. Yeah.
um, and dumpster would be in the back of the facility, but I don't know that. I don't know if anyone's been there, knows.
They used to be in that gravel lot shared between the three, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be,
Possible.
but that's
What do you
when,
think on it? Maybe that's it.
Could be a car park there,
Mm.
right? But it,
yeah, George keeps his truck there to plow them. lot.
That's what.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Pretty cut and dry, I think. We need to show it, we could always make that as a comment. Or as a condition that any dumpster would be, you know.
Out of
allowed
sight,
around the
no,
side.
Yeah, I mean, we just have the brightness of the lights, they have to have shades on them.
Yeah,
Um,
no new
The
lights being
lighting's all there.
proposed.
They're all
They're
there.
all there.
It's over
So
there.
whatever's.
Okay, well,
Right.
let's make sure that they're the ones that we want there, not
Mhm.
the ones that,
He replaced it with them.
yeah.
So what, we don't have like pictures of them?
No, I just,
The pictures?
no, I
A
just,
visual.
you know, so that they know, that you know, that, you know, we don't want ice blue lights and,
Mhm.
you know, things shining. Right, we want covers on them. I think before, like, they just had over the doors, they just had lights over the doors. I don't remember a whole lot of lights on. I'm sure there must be some around the building, but
Right, yeah, these older lights as well,
So like as,
as being out there.
like at night, you'd see the window of the gap, like where they're showing the lights would be on, the little lights, like that.
oh, on the,
Like if I drive by now, those lights are gonna be on over there. Or-
Do we have the original site plan approval? In the file? That's something hard to get.
We'd have to go look for, I don't even know who would have,
Alms.
who did, you know, who was the original, 1996?
Probably.
Mid-90s, right?
This is
Probably.
Well, I went to
the-
Buddy Golf project.
94. Who else, is their name on this?
oh,
94.
that was Buddy Gum, wasn't it, that built that?
Because Mary Ann Dawn.
Oh, Mary Ann, that's
Yeah.
when it was the,
Yeah.
right, the liquor store.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it. Right
Oh,
there, Mary Ann Guan.
so that's the original, yeah,
94.
right.
Yeah.
So these must be the corner lights.
Mhm.
So there they are.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, know, it's just, I mean, as a bakery, the place has been a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be, you know, I know it's over a year, way over a year of that, but it's not gonna be a heavy use of a Chinese restaurant, right?
No,
I don't see a problem with
Yeah,
that.
honestly, I mean, Warren, do we? Well, first, board members, like, what, is there anyone else that's is there anything anyone else has a question about or anything else they want to see from the applicant? And then
No, I'm satisfied with the stuff she's brought.
Was the Chinese
Or-
restaurant approved for a 30-seat restaurant?
To the harbor plans from 1994. Would appear.
Was it up to you?
It's signed by Dutchess County Health Department for the same applicant that the board remembers.
Okay.
And didn't he even say in his letter that,
yeah, the county health,
See.
Warren, you saw the letter from the county health department?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just was
Yeah.
confused because I never saw 30 seats in the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. Maybe they never put that many out.
No, they never-
I think there were about 4
Anyway,
seats in that
yeah,
restaurant.
Yeah, well, I would say it goes by space, yeah.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
got to use the building code in
Yeah.
your space, and that determines your seat, right?
So
Not enough.
my thinking on this though is, I mean, Warren, you're saying we have to do a public hearing for this?
No, you don't have to do a public hearing. You
Okay,
can if
good.
you want, but you're not required.
I'm not inclined not to. I don't know. Does any member
No.
feel that they
I
need
mean,
a public
it's-
hearing?
No,
No.
So what's the next steps then? We can just.
Well, I
Yeah,
think it's
come up
also,
with-
I think it's also exempt from seeker.
Huh?
So I don't think we have to do a seeker review. I found several provisions in the type 2 action that would apply to this, so I think it would be exempt from seeker. I think if you're what are the changes being made? The addition of a pole lamp?
No, we're just,
No
no,
changes.
new street sign, which is indicated on the map
Right.
that was,
Which is in on the property, not in the town right away.
So
new
essentially,
street
all you're
sign.
approving for this is the sign, which is different, right?
Correct.
Right, just a different sign, not really changed in any, I guess the one out.
You can just give site plan approval to the sign,
Right.
and that amends the existing site plan.
And the other thing we talked about, just let the refuse be in the back.
The question I have is, who owns this property?
Dr. Zayed. He's,
Can you speak up?
yeah, I'm sorry. His name's Dr. Zayed. I don't know, Farouki, I can't say it. And he works in Pleasant Valley. He's a doctor.
So do we have an authorization from the property owner, to proceed with site plan approval?
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
application.
Yeah, on the first application, there was something from him.
Yeah, he signed
Okay.
every.
All right.
well,
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
fine with
under
just,
his Name, or is it under a corporation name, or did he just purchase the property?
I think he just,
Yeah, I think he owns it.
He
Yeah.
just purchased
Right,
it.
but it used to be what, like the guy on like Lacey.
M&D Land Corporation, which is based out of New Jersey.
Well, when I wrote my check to, it was, I think, LLC. I think it's his company, Farouki. I think it's his name.
So Warren, you're asking, does we just want to make sure we have the authorization from the owner? What are we looking?
well, yeah, you would have to have as part of the file, the authorization from the owner of this property to make this application.
Yeah.
Trish is getting the application.
I mean, aren't you leasing this from the owner?
Yes.
You said there's a company, though, an LLC or some sort?
I think when I wrote the check, I wrote it to, so I can't, I don't have a copy, but something, his first name and I think it was LLC, so it's his I think he made a company. That's what I think he did.
So here's his name, Zayed Fakhri.
Yeah. Mhm.
And,
He filled all that out. I just filled out
Right.
my part and I sent it to him and he filled everything out.
and then he signed it. The signature of the owner, agent, and owner shall certify that the applicant is familiar with and will comply with the requirements. He signed that.
Okay, good. All right.
So can we just? I mean, can we just do a verbal and then?
Well,
I mean,
if you want to do
take
a
it up?
verbal, I'll put it into more
Yeah.
a formal writing for you, but not tonight. So
Let's do
why
a
don't you
verbal
just
proof.
make a motion to approve the site plan as submitted and the new signage as submitted, and declare it to be a type 2 action under seeker, which doesn't require seeker review, and indicate that you are not requiring a public hearing.
I'll make
Dick,
that-
did
I'll
you,
make that
well,
motion.
go ahead, Dick.
I'll make that motion, whatever he said, or as he said it.
As I said it.
As he said.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm away until Monday. I'll when I get back, I'll try to do a formal written approval for your record.
Let me just, all opposed? Okay, let's show that the motion passed unanimously to approve the resolution based upon, as Warren stated. Okay, so she can go ahead and then you'll write it up and then we'll just at the next meeting,
Yeah, go ahead. We'll just consider it approved tonight, but for the record, I'll do a formal written approval.
And then I get a copy of whether it's easy or.
She-
Right.
You can get to
Right.
work.
Yeah, you get to work.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you'll get a copy, and then, you have to pay all the fees and whatever else, the normal language we put in there.
Okay. All right, all right, well, that's it. Thank you very much. Reverend Sarah, and is there anything else? Besides, do we have minutes?
Do you need me for anything else?
I have a small, I don't know.
We should probably have something for the file. Do you have a-
Yeah.
Well, that can be-
Yeah, Warren, do we need Warren? No, I don't think we need it. Thank you, Warren.
Okay, guys, sorry it's so difficult for me to hear.
That's okay.
Okay,
Take care.
I'll see you later, George.
See you, Warren. We're done. Yes, George, we're done with you too. Thank you. Awesome. Drew, do you have? Drew, do you have anything for us?
I have nothing for you tonight.
What about Stissing House? Not Stissing House, Stissing Center. Remember, they were supposed to
Oh,
come.
yeah.
And they didn't come and.
That's right. I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I'll
I know
contact
they've
them
had
this
a
month.
change, I guess, in leadership over there, so is
Not
that
yet.
what's happening? No, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
All right. I'll
so,
reach out to them this month.
okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions for Drew or issues? No,
Nope.
right? All right, well, I guess Drew, you're free to go. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, I see Al is up there. I did see you at some point, Al. Sorry, I didn't acknowledge you in the beginning. I don't know. You might burn on the minutes. I apologize. All right, so the minutes for July. Did anyone have any corrections or additions?
Nope.
No, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for July?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the motions for July have passed unanimously. Sarah, do you have anything from the
No.
town board?
No.
Did the solar law process start at the last, did you guys start the adoption process or?
We're making progress.
Okay. All right, all right, if,
I have two questions.
oh, sure.
And Councilwoman Jones might be able to answer. Annual sexual harassment training. Is there a date? Has anybody heard anything from the town supervisor or the board?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I'll put a,
It's August, we got
I'll raise that at the next meeting.
And I have a question as to who's responsible for posting our minutes on the town website.
Amanda is, and they are there, and you just have to search. I can tell.
what do you mean? It's like going into like a big, it's not on our section, it's just,
Yeah,
do we have a section where we can have documents posted?
I could ask her, I mean, we have our own section, but I've noticed you kind of to search.
If you go to the planning board tab and go all the way to the bottom, usually they do get posted. But the open meetings law changed in January, where we're supposed to be posting either draft minutes or completed minutes within 14 days. And we're out of compliance, the town board's out of compliance. Most municipalities are out of compliance.
Yeah, the drafts can go up.
I don't see how there's any way you can be in compliance. Because you have to have a meeting to accept the minutes.
Well, no, but you have a draft, you post the draft.
The language,
I'm not in favor of posting drafts.
the language of the law specifies
It
that
does say
drafts can be posted.
Can or must shall?
Can.
Well,
It's
it,
really-
minutes must be posted in 14 days. If they're not approved minutes, they can be drafted minutes.
There's no way to approve them, and I am uncomfortable with drafts. Because there can be errors in drafts. That's why you have a draft, and that's why you pass minutes.
Do you,
I have a problem.
do you feel that it is, I don't wanna say a big deal, but like, is as urgent to have draft minutes up there as opposed to approved minutes, when they can just go and watch a video? Like, same people, right? It's online, right?
Correct.
It's the letter of the law. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Okay. But what do you think?
The urgency as to whether it's posted or not. This video is posted the second we get off
Right.
and people can see it.
Mhm.
It was something that was brought up in another town and I have noticed going on and trying to look for specific minutes.
Well, that's different. Like having the specific minutes being more, are you saying they are there? They're just not there in time?
Not there in time.
But you can find the minutes once we get them done.
Usually 4 to 6 weeks later, they get posted.
4 to 6 weeks after the meeting,
Yes.
which makes sense because we do it for 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So
And I-
in my mind, I'm not looking
I
to,
think the 14 days is onerous. I really think that's onerous, and I'm not in favor of it. And if they come at us and do something, I'm fine with that.
we're also supposed to be doing transcripts of every meeting, which is not, there's no town that's doing that. Like transcribing, like with a stenographer every meeting
Yeah.
because it's remote, like.
And like I say, most municipalities are out of compliance with this.
Right.
It was something to be of note, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on record as saying it.
Sure.
Oh, and hold on, let's see Vicky just sent this to me. Well, I sent it to myself via Vicky's phone. Hold on.
Yeah, I just handed him my phone. Said, here, you send it to everybody.
What, this is the training?
This is the
Yes.
Association of Towns training, yeah, but I don't know if we have to.
So
What did you say it was?
$90.
Wait, this is different, is this the Airbnb?
Yeah.
Short-term rentals, $90 per member?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I think we can.
Well, we have the budget. for
Uh-oh,
that, right?
Sarah's giving me a dirty look.
But I mean, that's very expensive compared to our normal training. Well-
I think that's very expensive.
I agree.
Particularly when there are a lot of trainings that which cost nothing. But if somebody really wants to go to it.
Yeah, I don't know if we all have. to
Well, a
do
lot
it.
of us wanted to, but now.
Yeah,
not
I
so
mean, I was
much.
interested. It was Airbnb and
We don't have an Airbnb law.
Correct.
We have not, we've raised, the issue has been raised and we have not taken it up yet.
Well,
we have anything in zoning? No.
anything above, how much, there's a threshold where approval has to be approved. I mean, the training has to be approved. I don't remember what that threshold is. You? Monetarily.
When I'm asking to go for some amount of money, I was, went through, but.
Right.
And we're very in favor of training.
Right.
So I'm sure it would be,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, if anyone, I guess, really feels they wanna do it, but we keep in mind the price, and, we'll, whatever, go ahead. But if, I have to check on that, I will check on that threshold to make sure we don't need town board approval.
But see, the thing is that we are not in the position, the planning board is not in the position of enforcing or,
Or creating some.
our housing officer isn't required to, be involved in any B and B work, so, at this point in time, I don't see the relevance. If the planning board thinks we need it, you should write a letter to the town board saying that we should look into it again.
Or.
Well, we have
as long-
something
well,
for B and Bs
Well,
in
yeah,
our zoning.
is long, it depends what the training is, right? Is the training like, these are how to draft a law, or these kind of, short-term rental laws? Or is it how do you handle
How do you-
Airbnbs under current zoning laws, right?
And what kind of zoning law do you want if you're gonna undertake one? There's been a determination, at least
Right.
up until now, that we weren't
Right.
going to do that yet.
Why don't I will look at
But
that.
that's an open issue. That's an open issue.
Right.
And I don't,
Because through the county, you have to apply for a B and B. But I think,
I will read from the Association of Towns letter. Quote, "The proliferation of the industry has left local governments contemplating how to balance protecting the character and integrity of their towns, cities, and villages while providing the services required of increased traffic and tourism. This course will cover the laws, current and proposed, that govern regulating short-term rentals, et cetera, et cetera." I am not interested at $90 for a price point. Just saying.
Ancrum has
That's myself
implemented
personally.
a pretty rigorous B and B law that requires all kinds of compliance and relicensing and site visits and the whole, that really is quite extensive. And we looked at that about a year ago and decided we weren't going there at this point in time. But it's a new board now, and if this planning board thinks that's something that the town wants, please let us know and we'll reconsider it.
well, B and B are governed by the Board of Health, so they have to have, I think they have to have permits, and they have
A
through
bed
the
and
county,
breakfast,
a
you
bed
mean?
and
But yes,
breakfast.
This is specifically short-term
Yeah.
rental.
Yeah.
houses.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the lines get blurred,
Very
right?
blurry.
Right, it's,
Extremely blurry.
I mean, like, you could just rent a room in your house on Airbnb. You don't even have to rent the whole
No, I
place.
know. I
Like,
know.
you
Yeah.
have a bedroom, you can come stay there, I'll give you a muffin in the morning, or it could be no food, you just could be
Right,
having a room, I mean, there's all sorts of, or you have the whole house, I don't know, I don't think it's something that,
A lot of
I don't think it's a
municipalities-
problem, it's like a
Well,
local,
we didn't think it was sufficient problem,
yeah, I mean,
but that's something that can change.
Right,
And then also.
because I think there's been a lot more of it.
When you have a lot of them, they really are reducing your rentals. Your long-term rentals.
Right,
And that's definitely an issue. And the issues of affordability are connected to that.
right, if they're the kind of house that like that would end up like that, right? I mean, some of them are,
I mean, I
huge
know,
mansion kind of things, some of them are room,
Well, they come in all sizes
but
and
it-
shapes.
right.
or
But just
also
in
somebody who
Pine
like
Plains,
goes
we've had
to,
a lot of them pop up since COVID. And I've heard just recently where different people were buying little small houses and to make for Airbnbs. So they're starting to pop up. So those rentals are now becoming,
Well, kick it around some more and and somebody should go to the program and report back on it.
but I mean, then you have those people coming to town and driving business. and
I don't really
everything.
think it's an issue discussed for
No.
tonight. It's
No.
not gonna get resolved
No.
tonight, so I
No.
think we just move on. No, well, what's the point of talking about
It's
something?
out there. It's out there. and
It's
if you
out
do
there, but
something
it's not,
about it,
yes.
right.
No,
And talk to.
but it doesn't take a
people.
half an hour to
people
talk
in the
about it.
community And see what people
well,
feel.
obviously,
about
because
it.
you're not, what are you
No.
gonna do, an Airbnb at your place?
I don't think it's part, I don't care
But
if
see
it
what
costs,
happened,
I don't care if it costs $100 for a course or 10 cents for a course. If it's appropriate and you need it, you take it. So
Absolutely.
I don't see what the point of the discussion is right now.
It does seem.
We're not going to resolve anything with this discussion, that's all.
But it should just be kept in mind, the Airbnb thing.
Yeah, okay, yes.
You know, think about
I-
people that
no,
like,
I
oh, I go to
understand.
Florida. No, I'm just talking back to the issue, like people
Yeah.
considering it. Like, it just be a room and a half, like someone who's like, whatever, trying to be, you know, starting to become a snowbird or something like that, and they can rent their place as opposed, they're gonna affect people that, you know, it's not something that would ever be rented, you know, all the time or something, they just go take a vacation, and while I'm on vacation, I'll rent my house and pay for my vacation.
You've just given me an idea.
So, anyway, all right, so, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Sarah, don't go.